Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Committee of the Whole for May 8th. Clerk Boak, would you please call the roll?
Councilmember Garza,
Here.
Councilmember Hussein, Councilmember Jackson, Councilmember Cost,
Here.
Councilmember Spatafor,
Present.
Councilmember Carter, here, Councilmember Palli-Malibu, present, Councilmember Brown. I have 5 members present. Oh, Spatafor, did I say Spatafor? Okay. 5 members present.
Okay, well, thank you.
We have a quorum.
All right, I appreciate all of those that came out this evening. I know it's a beautiful day, so kudos to you guys for showing up. Much appreciated. Okay, we're going to get right into this. We have a presentation by Jake Brower. It's a fiscal year 2024-2025 proposed budget. Jake, you have the floor.
Hello, hello. Overall, for the City of Lansing, as we're talking about our budget, the City of Lansing operates with a total citywide budget of $270 million proposed for FY25. The main portion of that is our general fund, which totals $165 million, providing the majority of governmental services that you associate with the City of Lansing. You can find our budget book online, and if you've been attending or following the city council meetings of the past few months, you can learn a lot about what we do and how the budget process goes. Overall, as you look into our budget book, I'd like to talk a little bit about how to read this document and understand where the money goes. So opening it up to where you see the table of contents, you'll see that the budget begins with the mayor's transmittal letter. This is really introducing the main, you might call them talking points or highlights of the budget, information about what is really different about this budget as opposed to previous years. We include a section on introductory and statistical information about the City of Lansing. This is to get an idea of the size of the city, the number of population, information about the local economy, community statistics, age, population, housing, race, and Hispanic origin, both from the employees and community, just as a baseline of who we are, what is our employment structure. We have a section on the fund structure. So as a local municipality, we operate under both governmental, proprietary, and fiduciary funds. Governmental funds being the majority of our public services. Proprietary are really what our business services. So when we talk about the things that you pay on your bills, whether it's parking, wastewater, that would be funds that operate self-sufficiently, as opposed to, say, our major and local streets funds, which are funded through specific sources of revenue, such as state gas and weight taxes. We have information about significant financial policies, our strategic goals, staffing chart, and overall the citywide budget as a summary page. Following that, you get to the fund summary section. This goes fund by fund through the City of Lansing. This year, we've included not just the information about the funds, but sources of revenue, projections, how we came about the revenue projections that we anticipate, and a little bit of information about the future outlook. Getting past the fund summaries, we go into the department summaries, all of the city departments, line by line, so as opposed to sources of funds, revenue, and their expenditures, the specific city departments that are using these and information about them. This year, we began the process a little bit early to gather more narrative information about departments, their individual goals, what they're hoping to achieve with the budget. Lastly, the City of Lansing is not just the governmental corporation itself, but a collection of affiliated agencies. So we have information related to the Lansing Entertainment and Public Facilities Authority, LEPFA. They operate the city's assets as it relates to the Lansing Center, Jackson Field Stadium, and Groesbeck Golf Course, as well as the Economic Development Corporation, or LEDC, which helps manage some of our tax capture units and economic activities, the Tax Increment Finance Authority, Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, and Corridor Improvement Authorities. Lastly, you can find our capital improvement program, proposed budget and fee changes resolution, as well as a document on our glossary in acronyms that are commonly associated with the City of Lansing. Overall, going into our budget development process, prior to October 1 each year, City Council transmits its budget priorities to the administration. Directors were then instructed by the mayor to review these priorities and to provide the information about their departments, to include a comprehensive summary of their services. Taking this information, we developed a set of city priorities to promote growth and excellence across all of our functions, and to really address the challenges that we hear about in a proactive way, as opposed to hearing about problems that appear and just bemoaning their existence. So we hope that this budget really fulfills that goal. Instructions for submitting budgetary requests were then sent out to departments. So from around November to March, we go through a process of departments submitting budget requests, and then the administration meeting with departments to develop a budget proposal to bring to City Council. City Council received that budget proposal at the third Monday of March, which is required by the fourth Monday, and then it begins a 2-month process, which is ongoing, where we get to meet with the public and have these meetings to really understand what goes into the budget proposal and address any thoughts, changes, suggestions that may influence what we want to do for the upcoming fiscal year. Overall, the City Council, adopting its budget policies and priorities in October, established the city's mission, primarily to ensure the quality of life by promoting a safe, vibrant, healthy, and inclusive community that provides opportunity for personal and economic growth for residents, businesses, and visitors, secure long and short-term financial stability through prudent management of city resources, provide reliable, efficient, and quality services that are responsive to the needs of residents and businesses, adopting sustainable practices that protect and enhance our cultural, natural, and historic resources, and facilitating regional collaboration and connecting communities. Overall, we hope that we've accomplished that with our budget proposal, and we look forward to the continued dialogue between both administration and the elected city body here before us, that we can best serve the residents of the city. Thank you very much.
Much appreciated, Jake. Thank you. Do we have any questions, comments from council? All right, seeing none. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, now we are to opportunity for public comment on agenda items. Anybody from the public would like to come up? You have 3 minutes. Please state your name for the record.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Tierston Walters. I'm on the Parks Board, so don't mind if I slink out of here in a few minutes to go to that meeting tonight. But I'd love to see some funding for stump grinding and to attempt to bring the mowing into the Parks Department directly instead of contracting that out. Those are a couple things that I'd like to see kind of increase services a little bit if possible for residents. And then another thing is any parks funding, any neighborhood involvement is fantastic. I'm also on the Neighborhood Advisory Board, so the grants there, I see a lot of good that happens in the city with neighborhoods, so I think that's something that definitely could see a little increase to closer to the levels we're at this year instead of dropping a little bit. But I appreciate your time and have a great night.
Michael Lynn, I just want to talk about budget priorities from you all. I would like to see, as we've been having conversation about Lansing 360 and gun violence prevention, something coming from the city by way of outside of just advanced peace. So that's one piece of the puzzle, advanced peace. We all know that. There's other monies that have been put out to nonprofits around the city that are doing good work with children, but not necessarily specifically to gun violence prevention. So I offer all you all entry to our 360 meetings to hear more about what that means, what I just said about things not necessarily lining up with gun violence prevention and how we can be intentional about that as a city, as a legislation. We had a meeting earlier today. Mayor Shore was in. He seems really enthusiastic about Lansing 360. I think coming from you all, your want to be involved with this process, but not just this, and don't take me out of the equation. Take what I'm doing out of the equation. And just a really intentional focus on gun violence prevention and intervention that's outside of just the advanced peace process. In other cities across the country, they have, just like we have neighborhoods and citizen engagement, they have an Office of Gun Violence Prevention in their city. We know that there was just one enacted in the country, or national level. Department of Justice has this office now. I believe the state level is going to have this office eventually. It wouldn't be outside of us to have the similar function. And what that means for me, anyways, is that when you're putting dollars towards gun violence prevention, we're actually looking at how they're used. I'm an EMT, bro. You need me? Y'all good? All right. I know how to recognize choking when I see it. Sometimes it starts slow like that. You know, just being really intentional about how those dollars are used and if they're really coming out to be, if the outcomes are weighing the dollars we're putting into it. And I think 360 is going to address some of that. So I do think that even if they're not ready to start an office, to put some type of general fund dollar every year towards prevention and intervention, and not a grant or a police-funded issue or situation, but something that's specifically targeted towards gun violence prevention. We have a gun violence task force in the city. We don't know what it's doing right now. And, you know, activating that. I know Delisa is in charge of that. She's involved with 360. Maybe this is something they don't want to take in on the city level, but we're doing it out here in the 360 realm. So, again, just some dedicated dollars towards gun violence prevention. I've been asking for 5 years so that when this budget comes around, it doesn't have to be a priority of y'all's. It doesn't have to be a conversation. It's just there, just like we fund vehicles for the police or trucks for the fire department. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any additional public comment? Seeing no additional public comment. Do we have any final words from the body? Anybody have any sentiments they would like to share prior to us adjourning? Okay. Well, thank you very much for being here, all that did come. I know it's a beautiful day out, and I know people probably are enjoying themselves in their yards and out in our city. So thank you very much, and no further business. We're adjourned.